Hello everybody. If you want to read all the stories in full, please go to www.steveuk.blog. Thank you. Short story 207, The Lost Phone. Lisa arrived home late, rain lashed against the windows, a fierce wind howling like a lonely wolf. Exhausted, she fumbled with her keys, the door creaking open with a loud groan. Inside, darkness. The power was out. "Hello?" Lisa called, her voice echoing in the empty apartment. She fumbled for her phone, but her pocket was empty. Panic rose in her chest. "Must have left it at work," she muttered, feeling a shiver run down her spine. Stumbling to the window, Lisa peered out. The streetlights flickered, casting long, inky shadows that danced across the pavement. Lightning flashed, briefly illuminating a stray cat with glowing eyes, before disappearing into the storm. Suddenly a high-pitched ringing pierced the silence. A phone! Her heart leaped. Following the sound, she tiptoed toward her bedroom. The ringing grew louder, coming from under the bed. Confused, Lisa reached down and pulled out a dusty old phone. It looked ancient, with a chunky black body and a single blinking red light. There was no caller ID, just a single word displayed on the screen. Answer. Hesitantly, Lisa pressed the green button. Static filled the receiver. Then a voice. It was raspy and cold, sending shivers down her back. "Hello, Lisa," it whispered. Lisa's breath caught in her throat. "Who is this?" she stammered. The voice chuckled, a dry, humourless sound. "Someone who knows you better than you think, Lisa." Fear prickled at Lisa's skin. What you want?" she asked, her voice barely a whisper. "Just a little game," the voice replied. "Follow my instructions and you might just make it through the night." Lisa wanted to slam the phone down, but a morbid curiosity kept her hand glued to the receiver. "What kind of game?" she asked, her voice trembling. "A scavenger hunt," the voice answered. "Find 3 objects. Fail, and..." The voice trailed off, leaving an empty threat hanging in the air. Lisa swallowed hard. "What are the objects?" "The first," the voice began, is a childhood memory. Something you've hidden away, deep inside." Silence filled the room again, broken only by the howling wind outside. Lisa's mind raced. What could it mean? A hidden memory? Suddenly a flash of lightning illuminated a dusty box tucked away at the top shelf of her closet. It was filled with old toys and trinkets from her childhood. Her heart pounded as she pulled it down. Inside, nestled amongst forgotten treasures, was a small, worn teddy bear. A wave of emotions flooded her. Joy, sadness, a deep sense of comfort. It was Mr. Fuzzy, her beloved companion from her childhood. A soft giggle echoed through the phone. "Excellent, Lisa. Now for your second object." The voice continued, giving her cryptic clues. The second object led her to a hidden photo album filled with faded pictures of her family. The last one was a picture of her grandmother, a woman with kind eyes and a warm smile. Following the final clue, Lisa found a silver locket tucked away in a drawer. Inside, a tiny portrait of her grandmother rested, worn smooth from years of holding it close. A tear rolled down her cheek. "Well done, Lisa," the voice rasped. "You've found all 3 objects, but the game isn't over yet." A loud crash from downstairs shattered the silence. Lisa jumped, her heart pounding in her chest. The phone went dead, the blinking red light extinguished. Trembling, Lisa crept down the stairs, clutching the locket and Mr. Fuzzy. The living room was empty, but the curtains were billowing in the wind from a shattered window. Suddenly a cold hand clamped over her mouth. A chilling whisper filled her ear. "Thank you for playing, Lisa." Lisa screamed, but the voice cut her off. A low, menacing growl. She struggled, but the grip was strong. Then silence. The storm raged on outside, the only witness to the terror that unfolded within the dark apartment. Dawn broke, painting the sky with streaks of pink and orange. The storm had passed, leaving behind a world washed clean and glistening. But inside Lisa's apartment, an unsettling stillness lingered. Cautiously, Lisa's best friend, Sarah, stepped inside. She'd received a frantic text from Lisa in the dead of night, filled with gibberish about a phone call and a game. Worry gnawed at her, and she'd rushed over first thing in the morning. The apartment was a mess. Furniture lay overturned, as if someone had ransacked the place. But most importantly, Lisa was nowhere to be found. Sarah's stomach clenched. Calling the police was their only option. They arrived within minutes, a team led by a kind-faced officer named Miller. He listened patiently to Sarah's frantic explanation, his brow furrowed in concern. A quick search revealed no sign of forced entry, but the broken window and the state of the apartment hinted at a struggle. Officer Miller questioned Sarah about Lisa's state of mind and any recent problems. She seemed stressed lately, Sarah admitted. Work was tough and she was worried about something, but wouldn't say what. The officer nodded, his gaze falling on the objects Sarah had found scattered on the floor. Mr. Fuzzy, the photo album, and the locket. He recognized them from Sarah's description over the phone. Intrigued, he asked Sarah to explain their significance. Sarah relayed the story of the creepy phone call and the scavenger hunt, a shiver running down her spine as she spoke. Officer Miller listened intently, his face serious. "This is strange," he finally said, "but don't worry, we'll get to the bottom of this. Let's start by checking security footage from the building." Hours turned into days and then a week. Despite exhaustive searches, there was no sign of Lisa. The security footage showed nothing unusual the night of her disappearance. Sarah refused to give up hope. She plastered posters around the neighborhood, Lisa's smiling face a stark contrast to the growing fear in Sarah's heart. She clung to the hope that maybe, just maybe, Lisa had run away, needing a fresh start. One evening, while sorting through Lisa's belongings, Sarah stumbled upon a dusty box tucked away in the back of a drawer. Inside, a collection of old notebooks filled with Lisa's neat handwriting. Curiosity piqued, Sarah opened one. It was a diary, filled with entries from a younger Lisa. As Sarah flipped through the pages, a chill ran through her. Lisa had written about a recurring nightmare, a dream about a dark place with a cold voice calling her name. One entry in particular sent shivers down Sarah's spine. It talked about a hidden phone Lisa had found in the attic as a child, a phone with a single glowing red light. The dream voice, it seemed, had haunted Lisa for years. With a newfound purpose, Sarah contacted Officer Miller. He seemed intrigued by the diary entry and immediately dispatched a team to search Lisa's childhood home, now abandoned and boarded up. The search proved fruitful. In a dusty attic beneath a loose floorboard, they found it, an old, broken phone, its red light flickering faintly. A jolt of fear shot through Sarah. Could this be? Officer Miller carefully collected the phone and took it back to the station. With the help of a tech expert, they managed to restore enough power to activate it for a brief moment. On the screen, a single word flickered. Goodbye. The revelation sent a cold dread through Sarah's heart. It might not be the answer they wanted, but it was a lead. The phone, the cryptic clues, the voice, everything pointed towards something sinister. The question remained, was Lisa alive, or was that goodbye truly a final farewell? Months passed, a heavy fog of uncertainty settling over Lisa's disappearance. Sarah refused to let hope die. Every day she scoured missing person websites, plastered new flyers, and followed any leads, however insignificant. Officer Miller, too, remained dedicated to the case, the flickering red phone a constant reminder of the unsolved mystery. Then one day a breakthrough arrived. A call came from a neighbouring town, reporting a woman matching Lisa's description wandering the streets, muttering about a phone and a game. Hope surged through Sarah. She and Officer Miller raced to the location, hearts pounding with anticipation and dread. They found Lisa in a small park, huddled on a bench, her eyes vacant, her once vibrant hair matted and tangled. When Sarah called her name, Lisa looked up, a flicker of recognition crossing her glazed eyes. But before Sarah could reach her, Lisa recoiled, whispering, "The voice! It's coming again!" Panic surged through Sarah. She gently coaxed Lisa closer, Officer Miller flanking her. Lisa's touch was cold, her gaze fixed on something unseen. Suddenly she snatched Sarah's phone from her purse. Before anyone could react, she dialed a number. Static filled the speaker, then the chilling voice. "Well, well, well," it rasped, a hint of amusement in its tone. "Looks like you brought some friends, Lisa." Sarah's blood ran cold. Fear threatened to paralyze her, but the sight of Lisa's vacant eyes spurred her on. She snatched the phone back. "Who are you?" she demanded, her voice shaking. The voice chuckled, a sound like dry leaves rustling. "Someone who enjoys a good game, wouldn't you say?" Then, with a final menacing laugh, the line went dead. Officer Miller took the phone, his face grim. He recognized the voice, a distorted version of the recording from the old phone found in Lisa's childhood home. The pieces of the puzzle were finally starting to fit. With Lisa safely in the care of medical professionals, Sarah and Officer Miller delved deeper. They interviewed Lisa's colleagues, piecing together her recent activities. They learned about a stalker, a disgruntled former client who had repeatedly harassed Lisa online. The stalker, a tech whiz with a dark sense of humour, had somehow gotten hold of Lisa's childhood phone and used it to manipulate her. He'd orchestrated the scavenger hunt, preying on her deepest fears and childhood memories. With renewed purpose, the police traced the online threats back to the stalker's location. A raid on his apartment revealed a makeshift studio filled with electronics, a map with Lisa's usual route home highlighted, and a collection of disturbing photos of Sarah and Lisa. The arrest brought a wave of relief, but the ordeal had left its mark on Lisa. It would be a long road to recovery, but with Sarah's unwavering support and professional help, Lisa slowly began to piece her life back together. The phone, a sinister relic of the past, was placed in evidence, a constant reminder of the chilling game Lisa had been forced to play. It served as a stark warning, a reminder that the darkness could lurk in the most unexpected places, even in the flickering red light of a long-forgotten phone. Vocabulary notes. Flung. Verb, to throw something with force. Example, the wind flung the rain against the windows. Shiver. Verb and noun. Verb, to tremble slightly because of cold or fear. Noun, a feeling of trembling because of cold or fear. Example, a shiver ran down her spine. Flickering, adjective, flashing on and off repeatedly, especially at irregular intervals. Example, the streetlights flickered, casting long shadows. Eerie, adjective, strange and mysterious in a way that is frightening. Example, a high-pitched ringing pierced the eerie silence. Raspy, adjective, rough and harsh in sound, especially because of a sore throat. Example, the voice was raspy and cold. Morbid, adjective, having a preoccupation with death and suffering. Example, a morbid curiosity kept her hand glued to the receiver. Cryptic, adjective, mysterious and difficult to understand. Example, the voice continued giving her cryptic clues. Shattered, verb and adjective. Verb, to break into many pieces. Adjective, broken into many pieces. Example, a loud crash from downstairs shattered the silence. Menace, noun and verb. Noun, a threat. Verb, to threaten in a way that suggests future harm. Example, a low menacing growl. Glimmer, verb and noun. Verb, to shine faintly. Noun, a faint light. Example, dawn broke, painting the sky with streaks of pink and orange. The storm had passed, leaving behind a world washed clean and glistening. Scrounged, verb, to search for something by looking in a number of untidy places. Example, Sarah plastered posters around the neighbourhood. Lisa's smiling face a stark contrast to the growing fear in Sarah's heart. She clung to the hope that maybe, just maybe, Lisa had run away, needing a fresh start. Intrigued, adjective, made curious or interested. Example, Officer Miller seemed intrigued by the diary entry and immediately dispatched a team to search Lisa's childhood home. Jolt, noun and verb. Noun, a sudden and sharp movement or feeling. Verb, to move or cause to move suddenly and sharply. Example, a jolt of fear shot through Sarah's heart. Gaunt, adjective, very thin and bony, especially because of illness or hunger. Example, Lisa was huddled on a bench, her eyes vacant, her once vibrant hair matted and tangled. Recoiled, verb, to move suddenly backwards in fear or disgust. Example, when Sarah called her name, Lisa looked up, a flicker of recognition crossing her glazed eyes. But before Sarah could reach her, Lisa recoiled. Delved, verb, to investigate something deeply. Example, with Lisa safely in the care of medical professionals, Sarah and Officer Miller delved deeper. Disgruntled, adjective, feeling or showing dissatisfaction or annoyance. Example, they learned about a stalker, a disgruntled former client who had repeatedly harassed Lisa online. Whiz, noun, a person who is very skilled in a particular activity, especially a technical one. Example, the stalker, a tech whiz with a dark sense of humour. Relic, noun, an object from the past that is considered to be valuable or interesting. Example, the phone, a sinister relic of the past, was placed in evidence. Story written by Google Gemini AI. Image created by Designer AI. To read all the stories in full, please go to www.steveuk.blog. Thank you.
Hello, this is Steve. If you enjoyed the story, please would you take the time to leave a meaningful comment and click on the like icon. If you want to know when the next story has been uploaded, please click on the notify bell icon to be notified. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel and tell your English learning friends so they can benefit too. Thank you.